Okay. So now I'm going to sales now. So I have my valid 100% for all the columns, which is good. Products, I have my valid at 80%, empty at 20%. So I'm also going to take out the empty columns just by clicking here, clicking the filter button up here and unchecking the null. Then click on OK. So you can see I have 100%. But when you install Power BI, you won't see all this here. Valid error. This is what we call column quality. So what you will do to get this here? Okay, I think someone wants to ask a question. So I can't quite okay, I think that is Benga also. Benga?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
There was a question that was posted in the chat column asking, would alphanumeric data be accepted or can be used? Thank you.
Yeah, so like what I said, so there's alphanumeric. So it means that there are both number and texts inside that particular field. So anything, it can't be on both sides. If there is number and text, like for example, let me open an Excel here. I think that question is a good one. So if I have something like this, yeah, so this will be a text field. So if I have something like this that has maybe some funny characters in like this will also be a text field. It will also be a text field. So it cannot be number. Yeah. Does that clear up question? So is it that text, number, or dates? So and nothing more. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So now I'm going to go to sales. I also go to sales team. So everything is 100%. So I'm going to, when you finish your cleanup and all that on Power BI, on Power Query, so the next thing you will do is to click on close and apply. What close and apply does is that it closes Power Query, then apply your changes into Power BI desktop. So you click on close and apply. So this runs for some minutes, or no, for some seconds really, depending on data size and the source of the data. So this is coming from web. So it's using the internet connection. It will use your internet connection as well. So the time it will take to run for you and for me might vary, right? So, but this will identify the data, then run and
hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the lecture. Just a quick one, just to actually for some clarity. I was the one who actually asked the question that one. Is it possible for us to have data that has composition of both, maybe alphanumeric? And based on the example we are working on, I guess under the product, we have product as well as the number. That's one. If it is yes, how do we address that? That's another question. And based on the illustration you give now, You
Yeah.
press some numbers as well as some alphabets. But based the feedback I received was we should treat them as text.
Yeah, it's a text field.
Why should we, or why are we addressing them, treating them as text, sir?
So can you, this one, for example.
Okay.
So if I do this plus this, what do you think it will give to me? An error, right? So anything that you cannot add, is it a number?
No.
Yeah. So it's a text field. So if you say, oh, some bit of, maybe based on your understanding of your data, this
Okay.
1, 2, 3, this 1, 2, 3 part is another column. It's supposed to be in another column, right? And
Okay.
this A is supposed to be on another column.
Okay.
So you have to split this into 2 columns. So there is a function on Power Query that we call split columns. You can split it by the number of text. This one, for example, will come here, another column, and this one will be another column.
Okay.
So each column must have its own specific data type.
Okay.
So any column that you have that has number and that has a couple of number and a couple and alphabets on the same column is a text field.
Okay.
So it's clear now, right?
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So now I have this here. We are back to Power BI desktop. So I have, you can see my products here that we brought in, the sales, all the columns, and the sales team. You can expand it or close it, right? So this is on our report view. So if we go to the table view, so you will see all that data right here. All that data right here. Yep. And if you go to the model view, you will see how these data are related. So these relationships that you are seeing within this table, so I can't go deep into it. Yeah, so for Temitope, it doesn't have, it can be any column, right? So it can be other columns. So it depends on the column that is easy for you to filter. And so when on the course properly, I'm going to walk you through, there's a process that I have, that the data cleaning process that I have developed, that I've used over time, that I'm also going to share with everyone that are going to take the course. So the step-by-step process to clean your data and make it ready for analysis. So you are going to also pick this off that. So these things, these relationships here, I will also expatiate on it because we don't have that luxury of time to do that today. Also expatiate on it. This is the model of this particular report. And this is called a star schema. And we have a one-to-many relationship here. Say one to star, it's called one-to-many. And there's what we call primary keys, foreign keys, and all of that. So that we can't cover here today. Yeah, so those concepts I will get across to you during the main session. Okay. So this the next. Oh, can you give me a minute, please? Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. I'm back. So I just had to close the door so we won't get any kind of interference. So now, like I said, we'll cover modeling more during the main session. Okay. So let's go to report and let's start doing something interesting. So I'm just going to do some visualizations and kind of show you how all this works. So I'm not going to write. There is what we call DAX, which is data analysis expressions, so which are formulas. But I'm not going to do DAX today. I just also want to show you that you can finish a report end to end without writing a code. So since we started this report, we've not written any code today. We've not written any formula, right? So that is how easy Power BI is. Although there are levels to it. This is what I'm giving you today is like the most basic thing that you can do with Power BI. So now, I'm going to start with a report right here. So first of all, before you build a report, you have to know, what do you call it? Maybe you have to know your totals, right? Before you start doing dimensioning by different things or doing, okay, maybe by salesperson and all that, you have to know your totals. But here, we have quantity here, we have unit price. So quantity multiplied by unit price should give us the total amount, right? So we still have to write one formula. So, but I'm going to write it in a very easy way that you can pick up. So we'll go back to the table. So for DAX, you can write DAX in different ways, either as calculated columns or as measures. So I'm going to show you one of those ways, which is as calculated columns. So I'm going to insert a new column right here, and I'm going to do the calculation to get the total sales, which is quantity multiplied by unit price. So I'm going to go to table tools. So this by default on table tools. Then I'm going to do new column. So when you want to write DAX, you can see it says column equal to, then I'll have to name what I want to call this column. What I want to call it is total sales. I want to call it total sales. So total sales is equal to quantity multiplied by unit price. So what I'm just going to do is to just type in quantity. CT. So it will bring out the table name that quantity is under. The quantity is under sales table. So when you want to write formulas on Power BI, it gives you the table name and then the column name. All you just need to do is to click on it. So what this is telling you that quantity is under sales table because you can have multiple tables. So you have to know the one that you are picking from. So multiply is just a simple asterisk. So that is quantity multiplied by unit price. So I'm going to put units there. So it brings out unit price on me. I'm just going to click on it and just enter. So it gives me that total here. So I can change it to whatever currency I want. If I want to change it to dollars, pounds, naira, so euro, or so whatever I want to change it to. So I think I'll just make this USD. So you can use whichever currency you want, depending on the country that you are and the organization you are reporting for. So I'm going to go back to report view, click on that. So the first thing I want to do is to show my total figures. So there is this down here where I'm hovering around now by your right. So before it's called visualizations, that is before data. So on visualizations, you have different charts right there that you can leverage on for your reporting. So you have different charts right here. You have the bar charts, the line graph, the tree map, the card, the decomposition tree, so on. So a whole lot of charts that you can leverage on for reporting. So, but we are just going to use a few today. So I like this card new, because you can just put multiple things at the same time. As simple as this is, so for this total sales that we have calculated, let's start with quantity. I can just drag this quantity, just a drag and drop. That's how simple Power BI is to use. I just drag this, drop it here. So it just shows me total quantity on a bar chart, because the bar chart is like my default chart here. So, but I can change this maybe into this card. So it gives me the total quantity, which is 6 million. And I can also bring it to total sales. I can also drag and drop it inside that card. It gives me the total sales. Okay. So we can change all this. We can change things like font size, the color that we want, and all of that. We can completely change all those things. So if we want to work on font sizes and all those things, where we go to is, we have different buttons here. We just go to the view button, and we can look at different themes that we can choose from, backgrounds and all of those. Yep. We can create or customize this current theme to fit what we want to do. So the only thing I will do on this customization right now is the sizes of the text. Let's say this is a card now. Let's say this card. So I like to make this so like a 30. So it's more smaller and more beautiful. So see, font size has reduced. So I just did it once for everything. So, and again, for all these charts, you can completely modify them. So modify the numbers, like this quantity now they're showing as 6 million. You can show it as whole number. So, and this is how you do that. So just click on that card. So there is what is called format your visual, is in every visual that we are going to use. So the first place you see is building the visual. So add your visual, format it, and then the third one is analyze your further, just analyze your visual further. So we are going to go to format this time. So these values on the cards, they are called the callout values. This one here, callout values. So here you can also change the text size from here. You can change the text size from here, and you can change this from here. So if I go to the label, so this has to do with the headings and all of those. But this is not what I want to do. What I want to do is to make this, instead of just 6 million, is to make it whole number. So let me select the series that I want. I don't want total sales. What I want is quantity. So this is the font size. So the display units, this is what I'm looking for. I can change this to none. If I change it to thousands, if I want to, you can say to show in thousands, or I can change it to none to show as a whole number. And on this column itself, none shows as a whole number. On this column itself, the quantity itself, I can click on it, then come to this number format and click on the quantity column itself. Then I come to this format and just put this comma within it so that it will have a better display. So now we can do as many charts as we want. This is just one of them. So another chart I would like to show you is just a simple table visual. Just click on this table. What I just did, let me delete it. What I just did is just to click on this table. So it brings this table here. So I can expand it. So I can show things like, I can come to my sales team I can show my salesperson here. It gives me all my salespersons. So I can show the quantity each of them has sold, and I can show the total sales for everybody. And I can sort this so that the highest will come up. I can sort this by total sales or the quantity. So I can sort it, and then it just shows by who is the highest and who is the lowest in terms of sales amount. I can also do a graph, and these tables, they can be completely modified in terms of you want to make it more beautiful and all of that, so you can do those easily. So another thing I also want to show is maybe a sales trend. Let's say this is my line graph. I can show you the quantity of sales over time. And take this quantity, drop it here. And I can just take my dates, other dates, also just drop it inside. So it automatically sorts it out by sales by year. But I can expand down to one level. So this will give me the year and the month. And just give me that nice trend that you can see right here. So I can decide to include the labels. So I just need to come to format your visual again and look for data labels and just click on it. So to bring all the labels. Now I can also change this either to thousands or to none. So I can decide where to put it, either above or below. And for the value, I think display units, you can decide to change it to none. So, or you can decide to change it to thousands. So anyone that fits you for that particular period. So, and there are loads of things that you can do with this. I can also use my smart narrative, it's called smart narrative, to kind of give me an analysis around all of the things that I've done on this page. So I've done the sales, and I've done all of this, and I can just do, it's called smart narrative visual. Yeah, I think this Q&A, this narrative, yeah, it's called narrative. So I can just click on this narrative. Oh, sorry, I've replaced this. Sorry about that. So whenever you make a mistake like this, you just do Ctrl-Z, just like normal Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. With your Ctrl-Z, it brings it back to the original state. So I'll click on Smart Narrative. No, we don't want to use this. Copilot is a new thing. So I click on Custom instead. And for Copilot, you can't use Copilot on a free account. You have to be on premium capacity. So this just automatically looks at everything available that I can see on this page and kind of analyze all the reports. So you don't need to spend time looking through and typing, and it is going to take a lot of time. So it just automatically see whatever you can see on this page and just analyze, just give you a little analysis for you to work with. Okay. So let me show you more things that we can do. So I can also play with this a little bit using Q&A. So instead of dragging charts and all of that, I can just type in and say, I just ask a question from Power BI and say, give me I can say rank. So I'll type it in here. I'll say rank sales person by quantity sold. Sold. Yeah. Let me go with this first. By quantity. Is it? Yeah, quantity, not quantity sold. Just quantity alone. Quantity. So you see, it just gives me this nice charts. And it puts the first person at the top and the last person at the bottom. So I can go further and ask another question and say, okay, I can also say rank salesperson by, yeah, your spelling has to be right. If not, just salesperson by quantity sold. So I'm asking further questions. Quantity sold. Quantity, yeah. And include the ranking, something. So let's see what this will give us. No, it still gave us the same results. So now you can ask several questions. Give me, or you can say, give me top 10 products sold. Top 10 products by quantity. I ask that question. It gives me the top 10 products. So without doing a whole lot, you can turn this into a visual. See, turn this Q&A result to a standard visual. You can completely do that. So it gives you a standard visual that you can use for your report. It's just showing you the top 10 sales. So there are loads of things that you can do with this. You can even create a report and use pictures on your report. So let me just quickly, that is the last thing we are going to do today for this visualization piece. So apart from these visuals here, there are also visuals on the store. There are also visuals you can get, additional visuals you can get from the store. So you can, but you have to be logged on into maybe your organizational account or to be able to do this. So you can go to get more visuals, click on get more visuals, and that will bring you to the store. So I'm looking for a visual called Smart Narrative. No, it's not Smart Narrative. What is it called? I can display simple image. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Simple image. So I'll click on that simple image. So it will show me everything about that, what the visual is all about. Then I can click on add. So once I click on add, so it will get, you can say import successful. Click on OK. Imports it right here. And even on this table, before I even use the simple image, even on this table, all these people, I can show their pictures here. This URL has a link to their pictures. I can just put it here. So now it's displaying the link alone. So there is something I've not done. So I have to go to the table and then I'll go to the sales team, then this link. So the data category here, I have to change it to image URL. So I have to tell Power BI that this thing is an image. So when I come back, you see the images here. So you can see all the images of these guys. I can also modify this so to make it more beautiful. I can come to the image size here and maybe reduce the size to maybe, let me say 45 by 45. Yeah. Or you can still reduce it further to whichever so fits. So for each person, you can see their images right here. So which is also cool, right? This simple image as well, you can also use it to display the image of one person at a time. Yeah, so the image URL, so just click on it, you can just put the image URL right there. So it's just what it displays is one person at a time. So you can display it by maybe the top person, or so all this will be covering on our main session. So how to use image to do ranking. Maybe you want to rank who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3, and then you want to put the other people separately, you know? So you can use numbers to select this. So let me say, for example, let me just quickly do something for you. Let me use the salesperson name. So I'm just using this name. So each person I select, you see that is the person's picture. Yeah, this is Felipe, this is Gustavo, you can see. So, but there is how we can use Power BI, this Power BI here, to also automate these selections. So we won't be able to also cover that here today. Automate the selections in a way that, so you can put them in that this guy is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and so the rest is like if you want to do a sales report. So these are the kind of things that that you can also use. So another visual I would like to show you is called a decomposition tree. So this decomposition tree, so you can use it to show things in levels. Yeah. For example, you want to show a report by teams. So you can put the manager in there. Explain by, let me put the figure we want to analyze first. We want to analyze total sales. Yeah, this total sales. And we want to explain by the manager. So once I click on this plus value, click on manager, it shows me the two manager. Then I can put this explained by, I can put supervisor there too. So once I click on this manager and click on the supervisor, it shows me all the supervisor under that manager. If I click on this too, it also shows me all the supervisors under this manager. So I can now take the salesperson and put it there as well. Salesperson down here. So once I click on one supervisor and go to the salesperson under that supervisor, I see all the salesperson under each supervisor for this manager. Same thing with here. Once I click on this, I see the manager, I see the supervisor, and once I click on supervisor, I see all the sales for all the salesperson under the supervisor. Okay. So this is just, all I've just shown you today is just a tiny bit of what Power BI can do. There's whole lot, and so it's just a very fantastic tool to learn how to use and to analyze data with it. I think this is the point I'm going to just stop for today, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Augustine. Thank you. So if you have any question for Augustine, please feel free to ask. You can use the hand raising button, and then I would unmute you or ask you to unmute. Go ahead. I think someone is there.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Chibuza. I don't know if you can go back to that screen again. And apologies, I came a bit late, so Yeah, I don't know if I can it's just a summary. It's not like a 2-minute summary. So once you get into the Power BI, where do you get your source data? Is it up there or get data or
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
get
it.
data?
Get data. There are various sources. What we use for this
Okay,
session is web.
okay.
I think
It's
you are
web.
also going
Okay.
to get the recording once you. I also
Yes.
shared.
Oh,
I shared the web link
okay.
on the chat, so I can also share it
Okay.
again, so you
Okay,
can
please.
also.
Yes. Okay. So you're using like an independent data from the web?
Yeah, is
Uh,
my data.
okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but it's something you
Okay.
can completely use. But you can
Okay.
also use any data from the web, really.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Because I'm looking
you
at
can.
stuff to
Okay.
practice with and all that.
Yeah. You can use any data. You can even get data from a website. You know?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can explore the variety of sources that you have there. It might not necessarily only be web. There are some other things, other options or other other data sources that you can pull data from. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The other person is another person. Let me ask you to unmute so you can go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Thank you.
Uh,
No, first things first, thank you so much. Even I never knew Power BI could do this much. I'm a very new user to it. But I have two little things I want to ask. First one, the form for attendance, I can't fill it. It's talking about permission.
Okay.
So that is
That
one.
will
Okay.
be resolved.
The
Just a
second one is
second.
if I'm trying to pull my data from a data source that requires like username, password, or some kind of authentication, how does Power BI handle that?
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can quickly do that for you. Yeah. So I have an Azure SQL, for example. So this is you go to get data. So I can't see the source I want to use here more. So I think that is called Azure SQL database. So this is the source I want to get from now. I click on connect. So you can see it is asking me for a server name, right? So I'm going to see if I can pick up that server name from, yeah, so I'll have to check and pick it up. Or let me use another source. That might take me some time. Get more. So let me use Synapse. I think I also have yeah, Azure Synapse Workspace. Yeah, so this is another data source. So continue. So depending on data source that you want to connect to, you will see, like now it's asking me to sign in. So I'm going to sign in. So because I'm signing to my account as well. So this is the account I want to use to sign in. Then I'm going to click on connect. Once I click on connect, can you see? So it brings everything related to that workspace out. Yeah. So these are databases I have on that workspace. So I can just, the same way we saw that display, I can just pick any of these tables. So let me say I take this test table, for example. Well, it's not accessible, so maybe I cannot, and I should be able to access, yeah, so I can access this one. So I don't want to just display this data because they have some personal information in them, right? So that is one of those sources that you connect to. Another one is that SQL database. So it depends on that source. That one will ask you for the server name. Once you connect to a server name, then you now see the username and password, something like that. So then you can absolutely connect to it that way. Yeah. Okay, I think you're muted. Yeah. Can
you hear me?
muted. Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you now.
All right. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. So thank you, Augustine. I think we still have some questions. Okay, there are no more questions. Yeah, so there are no more questions. So we are working on the link. You'll be able to fill the link shortly. So just please bear with us. Yeah, any more questions for Augustine? Yeah, Julius, go ahead. Hi, Julius.
All right, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you very much. So, very insightful. I'm glad I was here. So I already asked one question. How much of limitation is the desktop version without having to? Because I think you mentioned something about us having to have an organizational account. So the question is, I mean, what are the limits of this kind of version, and how much of would I say are we limited to do without having an organizational account?
Okay, so the only thing you can do a whole lot. So I think about 80% of or 85% of what we are going to do in the course will not require an organizational account. So what you need organizational account for are number one, to publish to the service. So number two, to also get visuals from what is it called? From the marketplace. Right. So if it's the use of Power BI, like in cleaning data, all the process you need to use it for, the Power BI desktop for, you can use it end to end without using an organizational account. So for the desktop, the only place you need to use it is where you want to get from the store or where you want to publish to Power BI Web. But notwithstanding, if you enroll for the course, during the course, we are going to provide organizational accounts that you can use. So we are going to open Microsoft accounts for you so that you can use during the duration of the course. And I think about 60 days after, is this 60 days? Yeah, there's this 60 days free trial that you can actually use.
All right, Julius. Good. Yeah. Thank you, Augustine. Any more questions for Augustine before we move on to the next section? Any more questions?
Well, I don't know, maybe to ask this thing. Sorry, it's me again, Chibuzo. Simplified. Since we have the Copilot tab there, right there on the screen, can we just
Copilot.
Yes, can we just tell the Copilot, okay, instead of going through all these processes, will the result be the same?
Yeah, so for Copilot, so you can only use Copilot when, look at it. So there is this Power BI premium per capacity.
Oh,
or paid Microsoft Fabric capacity. So these things runs to thousands of dollars. Like for Power BI Premium is about $5,000 per month.
Wow.
Why Fabric Fabric capacity can be also up to $5,000. I don't actually know the pricing for Fabric, but I think that depends on the SKU that you are getting. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. I see. So it's better with an organizational, maybe subscription kind of.
Yes. And most
Yes.
organizations will not do Power BI Premium. So
Of
except
course. Of course not.
except there are a very large organizations that have up to 5,000 or up to 500 staffs or more. So those are more like
multinationals.
Yeah. So normally organizations do pro licenses.
Okay. I see. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Hopefully in the future, Microsoft will democratize the sales of Copilot as well. But for now, it's still likely open to premium subscribers. So you just still have to learn how to get your hands dirty for now. So that is how it works. All right. Any more question, Julius? Is that supposed to be for the previous question, or do you have a new question? Because I can see your hands raised up. Okay, so I will be sharing my screen now so that I can quickly show you pretty much some of the opportunities that we have to offer you. We are trying to tell you here that you can leverage expert experience to transition if you are willing, if you're interested. We have, solidly designed a pipeline for anyone who wants to go into it. We are not a regular academy or institution that put people in class and session. We have designed a pipeline which I have emphasized at the early stage. If you look at the pipeline here, simply after your class, you get to, after the class, if you are interested in taking a class with us, but we have both online and physical classes, and we explore some different domains, project in different domains with you. And, we take you through, we have kind of integrated gamification into our process, so we can make it very interesting for you to learn, regardless of, wherever you are or your level of, understanding and assimilation. We also offer you an internship, online unpaid internship, after the class. After the 2-month class, we give you another 2 to 3 month internship, and help, you get to work on some of the projects that we have worked on. And then, you can also leverage our WhatsApp and Discord community. Should you have any question after your training, after your internship, you're working on a project, you have an interview, you are asked to do a certain thing and then you need help, definitely you can get help within a second or a minute. Either a student or an instructor within the community would help you. We offer references if you go through our internship. We also bring together all of our alumni together to engage industry experts and thought leaders on some of the new features, some of the things that are helping organizations to turbocharge their business and charge their business from analytics perspective. And I mentioned that the next in alumni meetup that we're going to have is going to focus on data migration. The data migration is quite a very huge project that happens not just in that happens globally, right? So if you have a huge experience in data migration, you definitely are opening up yourself for global opportunities. So that being said, you can leverage the expertise that we have within our community to take advantage of our pipeline, a knowledge pipeline. And some of the perks that we have is that we can, you can either take the online class or the weekend class, or the physical class, depending on which is convenient for you. So we have both weekend and weekdays for the physical class. We have both weekend and weekdays for the physical class. We also have weekend only for the online class. We have both weekend and weekdays for the physical class, and then we have just weekend for the online class. Of course, the project, and the project materials are unlimited. Our data analytics course comprises of Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So SQL is one tool that you would have to know as a data analyst. It is non-negotiable, right? It's a tool that you have to know as a data analyst. Once you learn it, you come back in 2 years' time, and then you'll be thankful that you learned SQL. I doubt if there's any data analyst job role that doesn't have SQL in it, at least as of today. And if you see, you probably will see very few. So we start the journey with Excel so that you can, I'm sure some of you are already familiar with Excel. And then there's the way Excel, just like Augustine had mentioned earlier, Power BI is just like an advanced Excel, it's like a senior brother of Excel, right? to better put. So it's like an advanced Excel, and it kind of, once you go to the Excel cohort, the Excel module, it kind of gives you a soft landing into Power BI, right? So, and then you wrap it up with SQL. SQL is very powerful if you are working in any organization as a Power BI design, as a BI developer, and you're using Power BI or any other tool. Maybe 9 out of 10 times you will be connecting to, or 9 out of 10 projects, you will have to connect to a SQL database. So it means that you need to very well understand SQL, right? As you know, you need to have it in your arsenal. So that being said, you can take advantage of our course. Excel run for the physical class, it's 9 weeks. For the online class, it's for the online class, that's the physical class weekend is 9 weeks. Online class is 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Online class 8 weeks. Physical class 9 weeks. And then you can see the timing here and the amount, right? For the online class, it runs for 8 weeks, Saturday and Sunday, 4 to 7 p.m. And then for the weekend, for the physical class, which is the weekend, 9 weeks, Saturday only, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we also have the weekday class in case you're interested in fast tracking your learning. It runs for 2 weeks and it's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're working, you can, plan ahead by taking a leave to take advantage of this. So we also guide you should you be interested in taking any of the certification exams. And then of course our instructors are fully qualified and certified instructors. And then, like I said, the support we give is our competitive advantage, which is post-training support is our competitive advantage. And it really helps a lot. Should you have interview and every other thing, you can always leverage the community. So the idea is that we are building a community for you to join and not just for you to come and get trained and go. If you are interested, you can take advantage of the discount code here to register on our website. The discount code ends at the end of the month, which is the 30th of April. So take advantage of it now. The discount code is SAMSCL. It gives you about 15% off on the cost of our training, data analytics training. So in terms of the curriculum, you can see the curriculum here. You start with Excel, and then you get started with the basic functions you have in Excel, like trim, concatenate, substitute, length, and the likes. And then you move on to conditional formatting and data validation. You learn how to save your file as PDF. Learn how to freeze your Excel or your sheet, some of your header, your sheet header. Arithmetic functions, you learn about all of these. Name ranges, cell referencing, which is the backbone of Excel, both absolute, mix, and relative references. If you know this, you completely have unlocked Excel. And then we move on to the, a bit more advanced concept in Excel, like lookup functions, where you have the XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and the VLOOKUP. And then you get to learn about the index match, which is, helps you to handle some of the inefficiencies that we have with VLOOKUP. Logical functions like the if error, ifs, and the like. Some of these things are things that you take to Power BI. Power BI probably may have a different way, but you know that if you do if A equals B, then yes, if E, otherwise no. Some of those concepts and ideas are things you take into Power BI. And then you now have the advanced functions like the sum if count and nest if, nested if, sum ifs, sum product, average ifs, and the like. So you get to learn all of these. Then you move into Power Query and then data modeling with Power Pivot. You use Power Query to transform data, to clean up your data, clean up messy data, engineer new columns and the likes. And then you go into data modeling with Power Pivot, and then the close out the dashboards and reports. And then we now move into Power BI, where you get to learn about, Power BI, the comparing Power BI with other products within the market, some of the different Power BI tools that we have and how to connect to data, data sources. You explore so many varieties of data sources, including connecting to a database, because when you get into any organization, you are likely going to be given a database to work with. It's either they give you a username and password to connect to a database and pull data, or they give you a backup of their database to start playing around with. So some of those things are things, so we kind of prepare you and position you for what you definitely would expect from any organization as soon as you secure or land a role. So we go into some of the the concepts, so many concepts like data transformation. Power Query you have in Excel is similar to the one you have in Power BI, and you do data modeling as well. You look into a lot of relationships, how to create relationships amongst your tables, calculated columns and measures, and several other charts that you're going to learn. So then move into DAX by, DAX is used for creating measures and calculated columns. Is an expression language, data analytics expression language, which is pretty much also interesting. And then we move to SQL and look at the key concept in SQL. You start learning how to write SQL queries, and this is so interesting that there are a lot of people who are even into business analysis who tend to also have found the need to know how to write SQL, because it has become very important part of their day-to-day work. So you get to learn how to use SQL, and create tables, update tables, insert data into tables, get data from tables, update data within a table, join tables, and create connections, handle inefficiencies of data, how to deal with nulls, or if my data is null, I want it to be replaced with these and the like. So, so these are a couple of concepts that we're going to be covering in SQL, and which you are going to find interesting or fascinating. We also have a course called Financial Modeling and Business Valuation with Advanced Excel. So should you be interested, it's been, it's the program is led by, it's been facilitated by a certified instructor. And we can provide you such information if you reach out to us, should you be interested. Look him up. So and this is a very wonderful program, Financial Modeling and Business Valuation with Advanced Excel. Should you be interested in that, and we have information about this as well on our website. And then these are some of the concepts that are covered within the course. You have the model drivers and financial information, and the course actually covered both financial modeling and business valuation for both corporate and startups, that is both enterprise and startup. So you are covered regardless of whether you work with a corporate company or with a startup. So many basic and advanced concepts, financial modeling and business valuation concept have been covered. Here, as you can see, you're going to learn how to create you're going to learn model input and forecasting method, how to build 3-statement corporate model build, of course, weighted average cost, and so many other concept in business valuation concept that you're also going to learn, comparative valuation and the likes, ratio and valuation, investment evaluation ratio and valuation, so many concepts, business valuation concept that you're also going to learn. So that is what we have, and these are the the next start date for some of these classes. So should you be interested, please feel free to go straight to our website and register. Take advantage of the discount code, which is going to expire at the end of the month. So if you have any question for us, for me, or you still have any question for Augustine, please feel free to ask. Where's your physical class? Our physical class is in Ikeja by Tony Street. What's the commencement date of the classes? So this is it I'm displaying on the screen now. For the data analytics class, the physical class start on the 25th of May, and that's for the weekend physical class, and then the weekday class starts on the 3rd of June. For the online class start, in May 11, that should be upper weekend, right? So 11th of May, that should be upper weekend. So feel free to go to our website to register and take advantage of that. What you have experienced here, Jackson, do you have a question? I can see Jackson here. Jackson Upali. Okay, so take advantage of the discount code. Ensure that you fill the form so that you can get. Okay, somebody is trying to ask a question. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me just be quick about it. Okay, I have some courses already planned for April, May, and June. Now, can I get some contact details? So when I'm done with all the classes for different courses I'm doing right now, and I'm interested to come and meet you guys, let me just get someone's contact or a company contact that I can reach out to that, okay, I'm free now. When can I come start?
Okay, so there's one thing you can do is you can go to our website and register. You don't have to pay, but someone will follow up to you. Website is scenarioacademy.com. Although I'm dropping a contact here, so in case you want to reach, you can reach on WhatsApp or on normal call. I have dropped it on the chat if you can see. Yeah.
Yes.
So so you can pick it up. Yeah, you can chat with someone already. Yeah, so what is the additional discount on one-time payment? Yeah, so if you are willing to do a one-time payment, you get to pay less than the full amount. Yeah, and this is to say that our payment plan, we have a payment plan that is you can pay twice. But if you are willing to pay one time, you can always, take advantage of the one-time payment discount. So in order for you to get this, just register, go to our website now, register. You don't have to pay now, just register, and we'll have your record and someone will follow up with you. Any question? Any more question? So these are the start date again, should you be interested. These are the start date again. And yeah, these are the start date. Yeah, Benga, go ahead. Benga.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. The additional discounts that you offer on one-time payment, is it separate from the 15% discount that you showed initially at the front page?
Yes.
So, okay, could you kindly help walk through how it works? Like, okay, do I take 15%, then if I pay one time, then I take additional one? Can you just help clarify?
So in that case, you would have to reach out to one of our ambassador who would work that out with you. So it's a pretty much a peculiar situation, right? So usually usually it's not supposed to be so, but you're going to get possibly maybe an additional 10% discount if you are willing to do a one-time payment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Yes,
thank
please
you.
go
You
ahead.
just mentioned the name of one of your contacts that's always reaching out. Peculiar.
Oh, okay. Really, I didn't. All right then. Thank you, Gwenga. Any more question from anyone? guys, take advantage of this. The beauty of our program is the internship that you get to enjoy. And there's a way it puts you in a situation whereby you would think that you're working within a data team and, help you to have a feeling of what it means and what it looks like to work within a data team. During the internship, we leverage some of the project management to handle most of the project that we work on as a pop-up project, where tasks are created and assigned to different individuals. And then they pick it up, people work collaboratively to achieve the same thing. And yeah, so pretty much more than that. So take advantage of it now. And I can tell you that it's a money back guarantee. And yeah, and the beauty of why you should do it now is because one, like I always say, the best time to learn data analytics is 10 years ago. And then the next best time is today. And secondly, some of the programs, the prices are usually, fluctuating. So it would make sense that you take advantage now. Even if you are not ready to take the training, you can always, make commitments so that you can, tie down the current prices or the discounts, take advantage of the discounts and other things. So, yeah, any more question before we call it a day? Thanks everyone for staying back or staying till now. Any more question? All right, thank you everyone. Thank you, Augustine. Thank you for your time. Thank you. We really appreciate your time and for always turning up. So thanks to everyone. Go straight to the website, register, and have someone reach out to you and begin your journey to freedom, right? So thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day, everyone. See you in class. Bye.